what's up YouTube? We are back with another episode of The Stable. This one is a pretty exciting episode because we got some parts in. So, with Red over here, hit this light for you guys. So, I went ahead and off camera, matter of fact last night, we put new plugs in there, we gapped them, and I got the EGR tube that I mentioned in the last video about this, that's wrapped up in the rag right here. We got the vacuum line zip tied on the lower and upper part of that, so we shouldn't fight that this season. And then we got the, oh my light died, but we got the intake set back down into place. So next it is just putting the bolts in, torquing that down, and then getting the neck on, coolant lines, and vacuum lines, and the aftercooler. I wanted to have today's Friday, like the 24th or something. I wanted to have this thing running so I could actually drive it to work on Monday, but I forgot we ordered the new Canton reservoir, which is not in yet. So we're waiting on that to come in. However, quick side note about the 86, we got the heads back. They're over there by the engine, and that box is all new gaskets for that, but we'll get into that in another video. What I'm super excited about is the new aftercooler is here. As you can see, we got the polished finish on it, and that thing is just gorgeous. So that should look really good underneath the hood with the polished lines on the intake. With the, we're going to put the polished alternator back on there, so that means everything will be gloss black and polished except for the blower. And when the blower comes off the car, whenever that will be, we'll probably send that off to get polished as well. And if you guys didn't notice, over there where the heads are, something is missing. So the Texas block has been dropped off at Rocky Mountain Machine Shop. We pretty much traded. I paid, got my heads, dropped off the block. So he is going to clean up the cylinder walls. Hopefully he can just clean them. They don't need to be bored, but if they do, hopefully it's below 30 thousandths. Once that happens, I know what piston size I need, and we will be going with a forged rotating assembly for the 96 and be looking to make big power. So let's just say that with the Texas short block, the blower on the car will be maxed out, and we'll be at that point looking to upgrade that, the transmission, and probably the rear end, because that stuff's definitely not going to make it. So there's an update with all the vehicles so far. Not much has been done with my dad's car since, but we are going to go ahead and work on Red today, because the track season is almost about to start. So we got to get the intake put on. Oh, there's more parts I forgot to show you guys. So these parts showed up a few days ago, so I kind of forgot what the aftercooler showing up, but we got our Team Z full length subframe connectors. Those are the welded ones, so those have to go on the car. And we got our Stifler's drive shaft safety loop, so that will be going on the car as well. So pretty much that leaves our race list with Red to, I think it's the P&R ice tank we want to do, and I want to get the two-step dialed in and finally figure that thing out, and then Red will be ready to race. So that is all the parts we have so far. Finally got some stuff in so we can make some content for you guys. In the next video, I will show you the heads and putting that thing together. We are still waiting on the upper and lower intake for the Fox, but we'll get back into that. But for now, let's focus on Red. All right, guys, so I just want to do a quick update right here. So if you guys have a similar setup to mine and you guys have the aftercooler and want everything to stay pretty, there is a nasty pinch weld right here. You can kind of see it. So I just took like a heater hose, cut it in half, and put it on there for the aftercooler to rest on, so it doesn't scrape it up and mark it up, especially because that aftercooler, especially being polished, was pretty pricey. So got that taken care of. I did try to wipe down the intake as best as I could last night. I could probably take some more time and clean it up a little bit better, but I'm also going to wipe down the valve covers while I'm here real quick. Maybe get the oil right there. I believe that is belt residue from when I put the belt on wrong one time. So I'm gonna clean up a little bit, and then we're really gonna get started. But just wanted to point out that pinch weld right there for you guys, so you guys were aware. All right, a little update. So we got the intake back off because the second hole, so this one, when I went to go tighten that one down, because that's the first one in the sequence, it just was spinning. I pulled the bolt out, and there was a bunch of the threads on the end of the bolt. So never a good thing when the tap and die comes out. We're gonna see if we can get that fixed, but it was this one right here. So everything else seemed to get tight. So hopefully we can get that hole addressed, and then put the gasket back on, set the intake back in, and then we can start torquing that stuff down. Just wanted to point that out real quick. The other thing I was noticing on here, on a Facebook Mustang group I'm a part of, some guys had questions and problems with trying to run their valve covers and figuring out how to write their inlet tube, because their filler neck is on this side. So I just got lucky and we kept my 96 Mustang GT valve covers when we dropped this 04 Crown Vic motor in here. So the 96 Mustang, and maybe more, but 96 for sure, has the filler neck on the opposite side. So I've never run into that issue. So maybe you guys were wondering about that or had that question. The 99 to 04 GTs had their filler neck on this side, I believe. At least that's what I've seen from forum posts on Facebook about guys asking that question. So just want to point that out, but we're going to try to get this hole retapped and see how it goes. All right, y'all. So after like 5 or 6 times of getting this intake on and seeing if the bolt hole was fixed after running the tap through there, still no luck. So I made the executive decision to get the drill out, drill that hole a little bit bigger, and we had a helicoil here, one of these. So I compressed it, and it looked like it matched up with the little scale and the tap and die set. So I just got that one down in there. It seems like it is flush. I might try to twist it in there a little bit more and go from there. So I gotta vacuum out all the debris from tapping that hole out, and make sure none of it got down in the cylinders, and then try to get the intake on here. And I'll probably just try to run a bolt that I ended up getting from Lowe's, like one of these in there. So if it messes up the threads in the hole right there, it's fine as long as it's tight and I don't mess up the ARP bolt. So that's the game plan for now. I'm gonna clean that up. I didn't mention it, but the oil leak, I think, especially now after finding that all the intake bolts were pretty much loose, and like I said, the threads all came out with that one. So I think oil was seeping down, and that was what was the leak. Originally I thought it was coolant, but it was oil in there, so I think that's where we got our leak from. So hopefully we can get this on there, torque them all down maybe a little bit tighter, but I believe it's probably because the threads were jacked up in that hole is what caused all of our issues with the fluid down in there. So let me quit talking, get back to work, and I'll give you guys an update here in a minute. Well, everything is all buttoned up. We got everything torqued down to 18 foot-pounds, and we were going for the last bolt for the thermostat housing, and I kid you not, if you can see on the end of the threads, the same exact thing happened to this hole that happened to the other one that we've been fighting all day long. I literally cannot make this stuff up. This car's been fighting me every step of the way today. Trying not to get too discouraged, but this sucks. Like, I don't, oh man. So, I guess the intake has to come off again, and I have to tap that hole. yeah, I'm not even sure, because it just, see right there, it feels tight. But if we take this off the end of our torque wrench and we put this right here, it is just gonna keep free spinning. Yeah, it's not gonna catch. Well, I guess just when I thought this thing was about to be wrapped up, I got some more work ahead of myself. So I am going to keep going, as bad as I want to stop for the night. Pull the intake back off. Hopefully, this bolt stays and I can use that one more time and it will hold. But right now it's tight, at least at 18 foot-pounds. Everyone says the range on the forums is between 18 and like 22, but I'm not real confident that that one it will go much tighter without breaking loose again. So I didn't really trust it, but I have no choice but to back this thing off again, pull it off, and tap this front hole. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so sorry we got a little later update because I got caught up. Everything is torqued down on the intake. The first hole that we fixed held up nice. This second one, the longer ARP bolt, it just did not want to, I need one with longer threads, I guess. So that's the last bolt you torque down anyway, so I don't think it's a big deal. So hopefully tomorrow I'll run to Lowe's and get a longer bolt and we'll get that tightened up. So we went ahead, got the intake on there, we got the fuel rails, the neck, as you can see, that's tightened up. So what's left is we got our coolant lines to the heater core right there. Here and here, I got to put a zip tie around this one. That one down there is solid. If you guys can see that, it might be dark. My flashlight on the GoPro is dead. We need to put like the dielectric grease on the boots and then put them in the spots for the spark plugs, which I'm just looking at. And maybe I got ahead of myself because here's where those coil-on plugs bolt to. And under here might be a pain. Might have left myself just enough room to get those in there and tight. It's been a lot of mental mistakes tonight. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Getting ahead of myself and then constantly fighting this thing. If you guys can see those drill bits over there, I was walking over there to grab some, tripped, kicked those drill bits everywhere. So it's like everything that could possibly be trying to stop me tonight is. I'm trying to stay strong and fight through it, but it's been very frustrating. I had the neck all bolted on there, forgot the fuel rail, and now looking at it, it is going to have to be loose. The fuel rail is going to have to be loosened up a little bit to get the coil-on plugs in there. So hopefully I can do that without having to pop the injectors off, but I completely spaced that right now. So without doing that, that leaves the coolant lines. We have to get those in there, so that fuel rail is going to have to be loosened up. I'm just trying to figure out how far I want to get tonight. It's Friday night. It's pretty much 9 p.m. I think. It's getting cold in here. I can see my breath every so often. So I was really just trying to get to where tomorrow all I have to do is run to Lowe's, get the longer bolt, and get the EGR tube in place is what I was trying to do. But I'm winding down. I already had my second Bang energy drink for the day, so I really not want to drink a third. But so that's the progress for here. And while we got it out, I will show you. There's all the drill bits I kicked everywhere. But here is the old aftercooler compared to the new one. The guy in town who welded that up for us did a great job. Those welds held up great. So it worked until I made my stupid mistake and had to buy the polished one. So we have to move these fittings over to the new one. Of course, move the coupler over. That will be ready to go in place once I finished up buttoning up the car. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update because once we got past and got the torque, the intake torque down, I kind of just started running, putting everything else where it goes. But like I said, I got ahead of myself. So, all right, so we are now at midnight. I'm tired, but you can see we made a ton of progress. Vacuum lines are in, fuel lines on, the coilover plug, the wiring harness is on, fuel injectors are connected. All the rest of the sensors are connected. I still have to go back and zip tie and make everything look pretty. Next, I believe, is the aftercooler. So these are our inlet and outlet. They used to be marked B is for bottom right there. So that has to be connected, and the coupler to the bottom of the supercharger. And then we got our elbow piece for the throttle body, and then that stuff is good to go with the last two vacuum lines going there. We can get our alternator in place now and then run our coolant line there. And these are for the little sensors I got laying up at the top by the windshield. And then we got our alternator plug, and then this vacuum line that's laying across the supercharger will be tucked back in there. And I'll zip tie everything, make it all pretty. Hopefully we won't have any leaks. All right, everyone. So last night I got super tired around midnight, and I called it a night. That just left me with the aftercooler and the rest of the vacuum lines and wiring harness I didn't get to last night. So I'll go ahead and show you guys, because I cannot end this video off without showing you guys the final result. So there is the brand new Vortech Aftercooler on there, looking all shiny and pretty. So theme with the engine bay, of course, is going to be polished and black. So that just leaves this elbow piece that needs to be polished at some point. I tried a AccuFab monoblade throttle body and did not have good luck with that. So that's why that is a factory Bullitt throttle body on there. So maybe if I can find a polished twin blade or something like that, maybe AccuFab makes one. I think they do. That might be something to invest in. And then the supercharger itself, or the head unit. So that is where we're at. Oh, we also put the I forgot the brand of that alternator. I think I got from LMR though. So everything is looking a lot better. This is the power wire. I need to finish putting this wrapping on it so it doesn't stand out so much. But that was a power wire that I told you I didn't have on there before, and why I thought that alternator was jacked up, even though it tested fine. So everything is complete on this car right now, except for the EGR tube. I gotta get down and tighten that, but I just wanted to show you guys so we could wrap up this project for now. So if you guys have any questions, please be sure to hit me up. I'd be happy to help you guys if you guys are doing a similar swap. So before we go racing, that just leaves the Team Z full-length subframe connectors. It leaves the drive shaft safety loop, and it leaves, two more things. The P&R ice box for the tire well, the spare tire well, and getting the two-step dialed, and we'll be hitting the track again. We did see the trap speed go up, and it could be because of the smaller tires. So with how we got the clutch set up now, we are going to put the bigger tires back on there and see what happens. Maybe it'll help me 60 foot. Maybe it'll hurt the trap speed. I don't know. We'll take both sets down there and run them both this time. So be on the lookout for that. But as for now, red is wrapped up. It has fresh oil, fresh plugs. It's almost ready to fire up. Like I said, we are just waiting on that Canton coolant reservoir tank, and possibly a oil catch can. There we go. Couldn't think of it. But you see, we are kind of limited on space of where it can go. That's the main wiring harness and stuff back there. So that's not really a good option. Maybe it could go just like right here, because that's a short run to the PCV valve. I'm not 100% sure on where there would be even room to. Anyways, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And as for me, I'm going to get started with another video. I'll either be wrapping up this one, or we will be going over the Fox, getting the heads and rockers and things like that set up on that. So one of those two cars is gonna be the next video, so be on the lookout for that. But thanks.